Hello everybody, welcome to This Game Where's Building Chester Zoo series. This is episode 11. It has been a few weeks since episode 10. We've also had our charity live stream in between these two episodes. A few different reasons for why it's been a while. One of which is I've been a little bit ill last week or so, but also been shifting over from working on this at night to working during the day, which has been a little bit challenging. We won't get too bogged down in that. Thank you everyone that joined us for the stream. We had something like 70 different people come and watch the stream and raised a little bit of money for Chester Zoo, which hopefully will help out in the long run. The zoo is now open, so if you're in a position to go, then by all means I would recommend going, as long as you keep yourself safe and follow all the necessary protocols. So this is Realm of the Red. Thanks for that. This is Realm of the Red Ape, which is the large building in front of us. It houses several species, but the main species in here is the orangutans, as you can probably guess from the name. I have been building this for a fair while now. Started it on the stream, but have been working on it since then. And one of the reasons is I caused some problems for myself on the stream while I was building, because I was trying to... It was the first stream that I've done, and I was trying to multitask, sort of talking to people and figure things out as I was going. I didn't want to sort of dry up too much and go quiet. So that was one of the challenges of actually doing the stream. Just giving you a view back over the railings. I'm in Tejidcam view here, so that we can sort of have a little walkthrough, because this is quite an interesting exhibit. It's in this large building, but the under area is all staff area, pretty much, and then above that is the viewing area for the orangutans. This building, so I'm going to walk you through as though we're sort of going through the exhibit. So this is... Oh, I've set up sound in here, so it's going to be sort of rainforest noises and things, jungle noises, as we walk through. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me still. In fact, what I'll do is I'll turn those sounds down a little bit just to make sure that we can. So, yeah, this is quite a themed space in the actual zoo. So I've tried to match that as best as I can in my version. Now, the problem that we have straight away is that it's quite a narrow space. It might not look like it is, but it doesn't give you much room to work with when you've got 4-meter paths to try and get in. So what we've got is a 4-meter path which is actually underneath these floor tiles. Then along this edge we've got some exhibits and some planting. So I sort of glossed over this planting area. We've got a planting area here in close to the entrance, and then planting all the way through, so you can have a little look at the planting. One of the favourite plants that I've been using in here is actually this one from the South American... I'll bring this up. The South American pack. It's the... I don't know how to say that. The hanging Cattleya orchid. And one of the reasons that I really like it is because you can, if you see here, you can change the colour of the actual flowers. So if you look down at these ones, I've given them sort of a blue, yellow and orange colour. And then if I take you over here, these ones are the same flower, but they've got largely blue and then a bit of green in the petals. And as we go through, you'll see that I've done a few different versions of those, and they really work to liven up the planting, frankly. And I never thought of it before, but I really do wish that we had more options like that in the game, that you could tinker with and mess around with the colouring of plants, especially the flowers. That would really liven things up, I think. So this is our first exhibit animal. This is an iguana, I think a green iguana, and we're gonna have these exhibits going all the way through. From the beginning to the end, so I'm not going to spend too much time looking at them. I'm sure you can have a look yourself, and if you do really want to have a look in the exhibits in more detail, let me know in the comments, and I'll certainly make a video doing that. But this is the way that I've done them for this exhibit. I've created a surround that is all made out of rock. I think it's the tropical rock. And I've done it so that the windows are not as uniform as they appear normally. We've also here's some of the Cattleya orchids again, so a nice deep red on those ones. The shaping of the window for the exhibit is different again. I've also used these education panels as well for each one and tried to place them in a way that actually resembles the way that they would be in the zoo themselves. So that's our first 4 exhibits. I'm quite pleased that I got those in here, to be honest, because at the beginning I was thinking that it would be quite an empty space that people just walk through. So getting those in really changed things a lot. So these are on the left hand side. We had the exhibit animals, and then if we look on the right hand side, a little bit of plant clipping here. We've actually got these large areas. I can't go through because I'm using Tegicam, but I'll show you those a little bit more, possibly in the follow-up video to this. But we've got these large areas. So there's 3 of them that are separated off, and these are where the orangutans actually live inside. They do have, at the back here, they've got like a shelf that they can sit on, and there's also some climbing apparatus in there that they can exercise on and move around. And I will be putting those in for the next video, so that's going to be the project, that and the outside areas. We've got multiple ways to see into these enclosures. Each one has several windows, and again, you'll see those as we go. I have also used, because there's a lot of... I do not know who's making that noise. I presume him. I wonder where he's running. I have no idea. What is he doing? Okay, he must just be excited. I don't know. I've used these. These are the strangler fig roots that you can add to the strangler fig tree, and I've used those in lieu of vines. So I have used a bit of vining over here, the liana, but then these more rugged, larger strangler fig vines I've used to decorate the walls throughout. There's our... Did we have... Yeah, there's another one of our orchids down there, a nice pale yellow one. And I think that the wood really works. The strangler fig roots really work in here to create a sense of jungliness, along with the sounds as well. So here's another one of our exhibits, and I've tried to... The window actually for this in the real zoo is here, and I tried to sort of mock that up as best as I could, but I couldn't really do it. So to make it a little bit more interesting, I've made the window so that it wraps around the corner there like that, and I'm quite pleased with how that looks. So here's our 3rd exhibit. Still empty at the moment, but will be full in the fullness of time. This is a board that I made. It's similar to the information board that I put in for the last video. This is the diet board. So orangutans, they eat fruits. They're frugivores, they call them, and leaves predominantly. This is that Gicilurus creation, the alphabet, and I've used it all the way through here because it's really well sized for this sort of thing. The banana is the thing that I'm most proud of in this, because it's using 2 semicircles. So if I delete that, you can see how that banana is created. I know it doesn't look like a banana particularly, but more like a crescent moon, isn't it? But that's what we've got, and that was the best way I could come up with to create them. So, that's the other thing. So there are 2 windows looking out into the outside enclosure. This is quite a large area, and all of this area here is going to be climbing frames and foliage. So that's going to be quite exciting to build. It probably is the first time that I've done. I think this is the first climbing animal that I've done. So that's going to be real fun to get stuck into once I do. So we've had our enclosures here as well. We've got a couple in there, and then we've got our last one here, which is the tree frog from red-eyed tree frog from the South America pack. And I was again pleased to get in there. It doesn't match in terms of the geography of orangutans, but in terms of like the theme of the jungle, that's where it matches. I do wish he would go away. We've got another one of our orchids here, a nice bright orange one, which I've used in both of those planting areas. We've got our second homemade education board, which is the Apes in the Wild. And what I've done here is mock up a very, very rough map of what is Borneo and Malaysia here. So these represent the actual spread of apes, of orangutans in the wild. 3 different populations, 3 different, I think, separate individual species, if I remember correctly. I did look this up to make the map, and actually what I've done is with this as well, if I just turn it to nighttime, that actually lights up, which I think is quite nice as a feature. So yeah, quite pleased with that. Quite pleased that I was able to get the general sense of a map just with those abstract shapes, with those geometric shapes. So a little bit more planting. That is the monkey orchid. That I can't remember the full name of it. Bit more planting to the left and the right, bit more vine work, and then we've got here my third homemade education board. And what I've tried to do with this one, so it's conservation board, and if you imagine these are different points that are all about how they work to conserve the orangutans and other animals in the wild. I wanted to put some arrows onto this picture so that it looked like each point was referring to a different thing on a picture. And I also wanted to create a different picture to what I've got here, but you are a little bit limited, as you saw with my map, as to what you can actually do with the geometric shapes, and I ended up going for this instead. What I have done with this is I've used some of the props, some of the scenery props, to make what is like a 3D. If you imagine like it's semi-interactive, so you can sort of touch and feel, and in a zoo or in any kind of place that has this kind of board, you can imagine that they've made this out of sort of molded plastic, and it sticks out of the actual wall. So that's what I've tried to create. It's quite high end for that sort of thing. It just being made out of plastic, it looks quite good considering that. But yeah, I've just used that scenery pieces. And then walking through to the end, we've got our final viewing area, which is actually the indoor-outdoor area for the orangutans. So they have areas outside, like properly outside, but then they also have access to these areas, 2 separated areas that are netted over up here. And again, they have some climbing areas and planting in this raised area, this shelf area here. Again, that's I'll be working on these and the outdoor areas for the next video. Finally, we've got this sort of fresco, or whatever you would call it, mural, I don't know, that I've made. Quite a simple one that hopefully looks like the orangutans are hanging out of the vines. So that is our indoor area. This is the other area for outdoors, which is not quite the right shape just yet, but we'll be working on that for the next video. So just to give you an overview then, this is what the building looks like from above. In order to get ready for this video, I had to carve this out and colour it, and had to work with the dimensions of the building and all sorts, because I created a fair few problems for myself in the actual in the stream when I was building this first off. The other thing that I should note is that this is obviously all hand built, yeah, and these panels here, those panels and the straight along panels, they are actually a creation of Backblast, who we've both sort of given one another different things throughout the park, and he was watching the stream and offered these, and I was really grateful, because it meant that I could get those in nice and quickly instead of having to spend for ages on the actual stream just building a ramp. So that was nice. Thank you very much to you, Backblast. Oh, that's the other thing. I've made a little lift. End on a high, why don't we? Made a little lift. That is actually 2 doors placed backwards. I don't know if you can see them. If I clip into the wall, you might be able to see them. Yeah. So that is 2 doors that I've turned around so that you get the metallic sheen when it shines on the... There you go. You got like a shininess to them, which you don't get with other other panels. So yeah, so the lift, brilliant. The building itself is, I think, probably about a story too tall. I think I should have taken out a section in the middle, but by the time, as I said, by the time it was built, after the stream, the skeleton was built, it was in so many different pieces that actually taking a section out was all but impossible. And I fiddled around trying to decide what I was going to do with this building, and how to fix the problems that I'd made, and I ended up sort of ignoring a few bits and just going with it. The size of it, actually, in relation to other things. So if we compare it to our Spirit of the Jaguar build, it's maybe about right in terms of height, but I don't know. I'm happy with it as it is. So that is our first part of the Realm of the Red Ape. If you like what you've seen so far inside and whatnot, then please do like, subscribe the video so that you don't miss the second part, and give our other videos a watch as well. There will be some coming up in the end screen. And thank you for joining us. I will see you again soon. Bye.